Hey there! Welcome back to English Sprout TV. I'm Alex.
And I'm Emma. Thanks for joining us today.
Emma, I've got a question for you. What's one word that English learners hear all the time but still feel confused about?
Oh, that's easy. I'd say though, or maybe although, or wait, even though? Honestly, all three of them.
Exactly. And you know what? That confusion is totally normal. Even advanced learners sometimes pause and think, wait, which one do I use here?
So true. I remember one of our viewers left a comment last week saying, Emma, I hear native speakers say though at the end of sentences, but my textbook says although goes at the beginning. What's happening?
That is such a good question. And today we're going to answer it. In this episode, we're breaking down though, although, and even though. We're going to look at how they're similar, how they're different, where to put them in a sentence, and most importantly, how to use them like a natural English speaker.
By the end of this podcast, you'll know exactly when to use each one. You'll be able to write them correctly, say them confidently, and understand them when you hear them in movies, songs, or real conversations.
And as always, we've got plenty of examples, a little quiz at the end, and a practice challenge for you in the comments. So grab your notebook, get comfortable, and let's get started.
Okay, Alex, let's start with the basics. What do these three words actually do?
Great place to start. So though, although, and even though all introduce a contrast. They all mean something like despite the fact that, or in spite of the fact that.
Right, so they connect two ideas that seem opposite or surprising together.
Exactly. Let me give you a super simple example. Imagine it's raining outside, heavy rain, but I still go for a walk. That's a contrast, right? The rain should stop me, but it doesn't.
So you could say, I went for a walk, though it was raining.
Yes, or although it was raining, I went for a walk.
Or even though it was raining, I went for a walk.
All three sentences mean basically the same thing. The main idea is I went for a walk. The contrast is it was raining. So the structure is always main idea plus contrast or contrast plus main idea.
Okay, so that's the big picture. Now let's look at each word individually, because this is where people get stuck.
Absolutely. Let's start with although.
Although is probably the most formal of the three. You'll see it a lot in writing, emails, essays, articles, and it almost always comes at the beginning of the contrast part.
Right. Let's build a sentence together. Emma, imagine you don't like coffee, but you drink it sometimes.
Oh, that's actually true. I don't love the taste, but I need the energy.
Perfect. So we could say, although Emma doesn't like coffee, she drinks it every morning.
Or we could flip it. Emma drinks coffee every morning, although she doesn't like it.
Good. Notice something important here. When although starts the sentence, we put a comma after the contrast part before the main idea.
Although Emma doesn't rate coffee, she drinks it every morning.
And when although comes in the middle, we also use a comma before it.
Emma drinks coffee every morning, although she doesn't like it.
So the rule is, although introduces a clause, a mini sentence with a subject and a verb, and we usually separate it with commas.
Can we do another example?
Sure. Let's say the movie was long, but you enjoyed it.
Although the movie was 3 hours long, I really enjoyed it.
Perfect. Or I really enjoyed the movie, although it was 3 hours long.
So, although always connects two full clauses, two subjects, two verbs. It's like a bridge between two complete ideas.
Exactly. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Let's talk about though.
Though is the trickiest one because it's so flexible. It can do almost everything although does, but it also has its own special uses.
Let's start with the similar use. Can we replace although with though?
Yes, in most cases you can. Though Emma doesn't like coffee, she drinks it every morning. That works.
And in the middle, Emma drinks coffee every morning, though she doesn't like it. That works too.
So, in formal grammar, though and although are often interchangeable when they connect two clauses.
But here's the difference. Though is more common in spoken English. It sounds more casual, more natural in everyday conversation.
Right. If I'm talking to a friend, I'm much more likely to say though than although.
Definitely. But wait, there's another huge use of though that although cannot do.
Oh yes, the famous though at the end of a sentence.
This is the one that confuses so many learners. Native speakers say things like, it's expensive though, or I like it though, and that little word at the end changes everything.
Let's explain this carefully. When though comes at the end of a sentence, it means something like however or but. It softens a contrast or adds a small surprise.
Let me give an example. Imagine we're shopping for a new phone.
Okay, I say, this phone is really nice.
And I reply, it's really expensive though.
Right. I'm not saying the phone is bad, I'm just adding a contrasting fact. It's nice, but it's expensive.
Another one. You say, I don't usually like spicy food.
And I say, you should try this restaurant though. Their spicy noodles are amazing.
Perfect. The though at the end introduces a contrast to what was just said. It's very conversational, very natural.
And here's something important. You cannot put although at the end of a sentence.
Right. You can't say, it's expensive although. That sounds completely wrong.
So if you want that end of sentence contrast, only though works.
Let's do a few more examples of end sentence though, so our listeners really get the feel.
Sure. The test was hard. I passed though.
He's not very tall. He's a great basketball player though.
I was tired. I stayed up late though because the book was so good.
Notice in that last one, we said though near the end, but there was a little extra information after it. That's fine too. The though still introduces the contrast.
So, to summarize though, it can replace although in formal clause connections. It's more common in speaking. It can go at the end of a sentence to mean however, and although cannot do this.
Great summary. Now let's move to the strongest one. Even though.
Even though is like although, but stronger. It emphasizes that the contrast is surprising, like really surprising.
Yes, when you use even though, you're saying you won't believe this, but.
Let's compare. Although it was cold, we went swimming. That's a contrast.
But even though it was freezing, we went swimming. That sounds more dramatic, more unexpected.
Exactly. Even though adds emotion. It makes the listener think, wow, that's really surprising.
Another example. Imagine someone who's afraid of flying but becomes a pilot.
Even though he was afraid of flying, he became a pilot.
If we said, although he was afraid of flying, he became a pilot, it's correct, but it sounds a little flatter.
Even though carries more weight. It's perfect for stories, personal experiences, and dramatic situations.
Structurally, even though works just like although. It starts a clause and we use commas.
Even though she studied all night, she failed the exam.
Or, in the middle, she failed the exam even though she studied all night.
But here's a key point. Even though cannot go at the end of a sentence like though can.
Right, you can't say she failed the exam even though. Nope, doesn't work.
So, even though is always at the beginning or in the middle, connecting two clauses, and it adds extra emphasis to the surprise.
Let's do a quick side-by-side comparison with the same situation so listeners can feel the difference.
Great idea. Let's use I was sick, but I went to work.
With although I was sick, I went to work. Formal, clear contrast.
With though I was sick, I went to work. More casual. Or I was sick, I went to work though. Conversational.
With even though I was sick, I went to work. Strong, surprising, emotional.
All correct, all natural, but the feeling is slightly different.
Now let's talk about some common mistakes because this is where learners really need to pay attention.
Mistake number 1, using but and although, though, or even though together.
Oh yes, this is super common. Someone might say, although it was raining, but I went out.
That's wrong. You cannot use although and but in the same sentence. They both do the same job, introducing contrast. It's like wearing two belts. You only need one.
Right. It's either although it was raining, I went out, or it was raining, but I went out. Not both.
Same with though. You can't say though it was raining, but I went out. Nope.
And same with even though. One contrast word per sentence.
Mistake number 2, putting although at the end.
We mentioned this, but it's worth repeating. I like him, although wrong. Always wrong.
If you want the end of sentence contrast, use though. I like him though.
Mistake number 3, forgetting the comma.
When these words start a sentence, you need a comma after the contrast clause.
Although I was tired, I went to the gym. Missing comma. It feels rushed and hard to read.
Correct? Although I was tired, I went to the gym. That little pause makes a big difference.
Although I was tired, I went to the gym. That little pause makes a big difference.
Mistake number 4, using even though when you just mean though.
Sometimes learners use even though for every contrast, and it sounds too heavy. Not every contrast is dramatic.
Right. If you say, even though I was a little hungry, I had a snack, that sounds strange. Being a little hungry and having a snack is not surprising.
Better, though I was a little hungry, I had a snack. Or simply, I was a little hungry, so I had a snack.
Save even though for the real surprises.
Mistake number 5, confusing though with thought or through.
Oh, pronunciation. Though is pronounced though. One syllable rhymes with go.
Thought is P-H-O-U-G-H-T, past tense of think.
And through is Through-G-H, meaning from one side to the other.
3 completely different words that look similar. Make sure you're using the right one in writing.
Okay, let's do some practice now. Emma, I'll give you a situation and you choose the best word. Although, though, or even though.
I'm ready. Situation 1. You hate mornings, but you wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and this is really hard for you.
That's a strong contrast. I'd say, even though I hate mornings, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day.
Perfect. Situation 2. The restaurant looks simple from outside, but the food is amazing. You're telling a friend casually.
Casual conversation. I'd use end sentence though. The restaurant looks simple. The food is amazing though.
Great choice. Situation 3. You want to sound professional in an email. You finished the report, but it took longer than expected.
Formal email, I'd use although. Although the report took longer than expected, I have finished it.
Excellent. Situation 4. You're speaking to a friend. You're not a cat person, but you adopted a cat.
Casual speaking. I'd say, I'm not really a cat person, I adopted one though. Or, though I'm not really a cat person, I adopted one.
Both work. Last one. Situation 5. It's a small contrast. The book was short, but it was boring.
Small contrast. No need for even though. I'd say, the book was short, although it was boring. Or, the book was short, it was boring though.
Beautiful. You're getting the feeling for each one.
Now let's give our listeners a chance to practice. I'm going to say 5 sentences with a blank. Pause the video, choose although, though, or even though, and then we'll check the answers together.
Ready? Here we go.
Number 1, blank, it was midnight, she kept working.
Number 2, he's not very friendly. He's helpful, though.
Number 3, blank, we had a map, we got lost in the city.
Number 4, she smiled, although she was sad inside.
Number 5, blank, he had never cooked before, he made a perfect cake.
Okay, let's check your answers.
Number 1, even though it was midnight, she kept working. Strong contrast. Working at midnight is surprising.
Number 2, he's not very friendly. He's helpful, though. End of sentence contrast. Casual.
Number 3, although we had a map, we got lost in the city. Formal contrast. Either although or though works here, but although sounds natural.
Number 4, she smiled, although she was sad inside. Middle position. Again, though would also work, but although is very clear and natural.
Number 5, even though he had never cooked before, he made a perfect cake. Big surprise. Perfect for even though.
How did you do? If you got 3 or more right, great job. If not, don't worry, just rewind and listen again. That's the beauty of a podcast. You can repeat as many times as you need.
Now, before we finish, let's do a quick recap of everything we learned today.
Great idea. Let's make it simple.
Although equals formal, connects 2 clauses, can go at the beginning or in the middle, use it in writing and serious speaking.
Though equals more casual. Can do everything although does, plus it can go at the end of a sentence to mean however. This is the most flexible word of the 3.
Even though equals strong, dramatic contrast. Use it when the situation is really surprising or emotional. Always connects 2 clauses.
Remember, never use but with these words. Choose one contrast connector per sentence.
And always check your commas. When these words start the sentence, put a comma after the first clause.
One more thing, let's give our viewers a real-world challenge.
Yes, here's your homework. Write a comment below using though, although, or even though. Tell us about a contrast in your life.
For example, even though I live in a small town, I dream of traveling the world.
Or, I don't like waking up early. I do it though because of my job.
We read every comment and will reply to as many as we can. It's the best way to practice and get feedback.
Also, if you found this episode helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to English Sprout TV. We post new English podcast episodes every single day to help you grow your skills naturally.
And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode.
Before we go, let's do one final example together, something our listeners can use today.
Okay, how about this? Although learning English is challenging, it's one of the best things you can do for yourself.
I love that. Or, learning English is challenging. It's worth it though.
And maybe, even though you might feel stuck sometimes, you are making progress every single day.
That's beautiful, Alex. And it's true. Every minute you spend listening, every new word you learn, that's progress.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, your English is growing every day, little by little, just like a sprout.
That's right. We'll see you in the next episode of English Sprout TV. Take care, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye.